Hello everyone and welcome to Gadgets 360. Here we have with us the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. We've already reviewed the Redmi Note 9 Pro, but this big guy was stuck because of the lockdown. And now that we finally have this device, we're curious to see what comes in the box. Now before we go ahead and unbox this device, be sure to subscribe to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and click that bell icon so that you're the first to know when we have a new video. The box is pretty much similar to every other Xiaomi smartphone we've seen, and it too has key specifications on the back. Now, it is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G processor, has got a quad camera setup at the back, a full HD Plus display which has Corning Gorilla Glass 5, and it also has a tiny hole punch. And you do get a 33-watt charger in the box. Now, let's unbox this device. First up, you get the case and some documentation. I'll keep that aside. And then the phone in the box. As you can see, this is the interstellar black color that Xiaomi calls it. So this is the interstellar black, and we have the 6GB RAM 128GB storage variant. This particular smartphone comes in 3 variants. I'm going to talk about it as we power it on. So 33-watt charger that comes in the box, USB Type-C port. Keep that aside as well. Let's set up the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max. I'll talk about the device while I set it up as well. As you can see, it runs MIUI 11, which is based on top of Android 10. The design is a little different from its predecessor, and you do have a hole punch display at the top. Now this is again not very common on a Xiaomi smartphone. And something surprising is that the fingerprint scanner is on the side, just like we've seen on the Realme series as well. At the back, the highlight is the quad camera setup. So it has a 64 megapixel primary camera, an 8 megapixel super wide angle camera with a 119 degree field of view, a 5 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And at the front, in the hole punch, you have the 32 megapixel selfie shooter. Now we already know that you get a 33-watt charger in the box, but the battery in this particular smartphone is a 5020 mAh one. So it does pack in a big battery, and you will see that it is slightly thick as well, which is primarily because of the battery capacity it packs. It's asking us for the SIM card. Let's take a look at the SIM tray as well. As you can see, it's got 2 nano SIM slots and a dedicated microSD card slot, which means that storage expansion is possible. And if you pick the right variant, you wouldn't really need that microSD card slot here, because the 3 variants you get are 6GB of RAM with 64GB of storage, 6GB of RAM with 128GB of storage, and 8GB of RAM with 128GB of storage. The starting price of the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max initially was 14,999 rupees, but since the GST hike, this device is now starting at 16,499 rupees. And this big display that you're seeing, it is a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus display, which is covered by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. The phone honestly feels comfortable to hold in the hand because it's got these curved sides, and the fingerprint scanner, I think it's a bit high to reach. Let's quickly register a fingerprint as well. As you can see, while setting it up, there is an option for personalized ads. You can switch it off. And this is something you need to remember while setting up your own device as well. Again, a couple of apps that you can again skip. And the setup is now complete. Let's take our look at MIUI 11 on the Redmi Note 9 Pro Max as well. The device did take a little longer than we expected to set up, but now that we are here, let's take a look at MIUI 11. Now this is quite similar to what we have seen on other Xiaomi smartphones as well. Now let's check what this particular model is running. It is running MIUI Global 11.0.1 and this is based on top of Android 10. We will be testing this smartphone out and checking out all of the features that it has on offer. So stay tuned to Gadgets 360 for the full review.